live, random live at a random time. Y'all be alright. Gonna make this happen. We are gonna make this happen. But yeah, man, I wanted to talk about a couple of stuff. You know, real quick, get it off my chest real quick while I'm on my way back to the house. So this is what we got. Make sure y'all filter up in here. I'll be live maybe 20-25 minutes. This is what we got. This is what we got on the menu. So, we got this adolescent show and the Pop the Balloon show. We've got, maybe I'll talk about a couple of TV shows and stuff that's coming out that I may check out. And we got this. I want this Austin Metcalf situation as well. So shout out to SWP. I think he's doing some really good commentary on it. Shout out to Red Supreme. I think he's doing some good commentary on it. He's mainly commenting, going through some of the other reactors. And, he's been going at Donovan Sharp, going at Anton Daniels. The typical folks. And I'm going to comment on some of that as well. And, shout out to Charles. Obviously, Charles Partner, our local subject matter expert on the matter. So, here's the thing. What's up, AB? Here's the thing. I was very, I kept, I basically said what I said, and I don't take that back, because motherfuckers, I'm really tired of the disrespect, this disrespectful disposition that people have towards shit, because you all feel that you righteous on a topic, and y'all want to be bitter as fuck, and y'all want to call people names. I'm gonna start roasting y'all niggas, really. I've really held back on shit like that, but I'm gonna really start cooking some of y'all for that shit. Y'all really not gonna like me. If y'all do not like me before, y'all are really not gonna like me, seriously. Cause I will. I really hold back on stuff like that. And really, even with me getting loud, I do that as a mechanism to not really start roasting y'all, because I can really make y'all feel fucking bad. For real. But that, I ain't even gonna harp on that. So I stand by that, because really this disrespectful bullshit is not necessary on these fucking topics. At the end of the day, this brother did not die. So all this bullshit, how y'all feel about something, is irrelevant to his own situation. And that's just what it is. But that being said, what I really want to talk about is, let me be very real about this situation. Cause I don't, let me be real about this situation, 100% real. Like I said on Arts, if it was up to me, this dude would walk. Fuck the knife. But I know from a legal standpoint, the knife is going to be a problem. It just is, because he shouldn't have had that at school. And if somebody, we all went to high school, I can tell you right now, he would be, if he was caught with that knife at school, he would be instantly expelled. And I've seen dudes get expelled for knives. And I can tell you where I live, I'm not going to say go speak for Texas, although you niggas live there, so it can't be really as bad as y'all saying, unless y'all just can't leave for whatever reason. And that's another problem. But I can speak for at least the schools I went to school with. And I can tell you bring in a knife, there's no fucking reason for you to bring a knife to school. Fuck what you want to say about these white people. I'm not even saying these white people are not problematic, because I done fought some of them, but, on some stupid shit. But you bring in knives to school, y'all gotta go to hell with that. And I'm not talking about Texas. I'm talking about if you in North Carolina, especially if you in, the Wake County school system, trying to play that game, I'm completely with BGS. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a tough guy. That's bullshit. And I'm talking about the hood dudes doing that, let alone a lot of you niggas trying to be hood adjacent because y'all looking too much social media. That being said, I don't give a fuck about what these coon ass niggas want to say. And you know who you are. You don't have enough information to just, I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of y'all gotta stop sucking dick for fucking, stop trying to suck the sperm, the money out of these white dudes' dick for, by taking these stances. A lot of y'all, let me give you a perfect example. Let's say Donovan, for example. Donovan, I don't have an issue with Donovan like a lot of people do. But Donovan has to, Donovan. You look like the type of motherfucker that they would shoot. The only thing that holds them off of doing that is that you light skinned. You look like a black dude that if you don't hear them talk, like you will beat the living dog. Like you look like the type of dude they gonna have to put 4 on. They would have to put 4 Austins on you. They would probably have like 8 motherfuckers go with Donovan. And Donovan is spoken on this, that when he was with white chicks, and Donovan has literally said, you know, superior genetics and shit on black people. So it's like, Donovan is, when I say Donovan is Austin, meaning a lot of people Donovan is going to deal with is going to be smaller than him, not because he deals with smaller people. And for Donovan's credit, Donovan has knocked the dog shit out of white dudes. So it's like when Donovan comes at this dude and it's very obvious, and I get it. Donovan's channel, they really did a number on his channel. And Donovan is made an investment. Made an investment in his channel and time and resources. So you gotta understand that Donovan is gonna protect that shit at all costs. And so it's very obvious that Donovan is like taking a biased approach when it comes to that shit. And he's like, fuck these Negroes, you know, because it ain't like these Negroes ain't never did nothing for him. The few black dudes that fuck with him. The rest of them go to him. That's Donovan's stance on it. You know, it's obvious that's what it is. I mean, it's obvious. And the reason why I'm pointing, whether it's Donovan or Anton is very obvious. Anton ain't never really competed with white people in a way that Anton has never taken something from a white person and a white person wanted. Anton would not have that stance that he had. It's very, and so I mention these people because to me it's absolutely weak how white men need their reality reinforced. Like, y'all need y'all reality reinforced to the point where y'all damn near need these black dudes to tell y'all are not the pieces of shit that y'all are. And I don't have this like issue with white people, but at the same time, I have a position posture with white people is, if I never saw a white person another day in my life, I would not care. I'm gonna keep it real. White Hispanics get on my nerves a little bit more than actually Anglo white, if we're gonna be real about it. But I don't have this thing where I don't have this need for white validation that some people have, and they can keep their fucking money too. So I just don't have this kind of friction with them in that way. When they're full of shit, I have no problem saying they are. Let's be very clear here. For what we do know, Austin and his twin brother both went to him, right or wrong about him being in the tent, because we really don't know why he was in the tent. That if he was told to go there, because it's a lot of contradicting things. The reality is, you all had the intention on double teaming somebody, because that's how it went down. That was the intention. The only way Austin can be let out, like Austin and his twin brother can be let out of this, is if you can prove that you can show that basically he lashed out at y'all asses over you just talking. Meaning he made the first strike. That's where Carmelo would be wrong. But if y'all made the first strike, then it's pretty much fuck around and find out. And the only issue Carmelo got is that he had that damn knife on school grounds. If this wouldn't have been school grounds, if this wouldn't have been a school event or school grounds, you all would you would be fucked. And it'd just be, I'm white and I say so, would be the only reason why he got hemmed up. But that's the only thing that's really messing him up. And my thing is, if this stuff was recorded, the only reason that shit ain't out is because it don't look good on the white people's part. We kind of know how white people operate. So, again, this thing about he's a good guy, fuck y'all and that shit. Because yeah, AL said it. These dudes, like y'all, again, the media is obviously gonna portray this because y'all don't want to take the quote unquote L. But the reality is that motherfucker was a bully, and you fucking dealing with somebody 100 pounds less than you. You are a fucking coward. Your dad raised a coward of a son. Two twin dudes, and people would say, well, you just saying this because this is racial. Let me give you an example of when it wasn't. Shout out to Jason from Pocket Watching with JT. I think it is the epitome of bitch ass, hoe ass, faggot assness for Erniger Leaser, them two linebacker, fucking lineman, NFL size ass niggas. For them to fucking try to roll up on Pocket Watching with JT and his wife, in front of his wife, trying to bitch him up because you upset that he called out that fat ass motherfucker, him 500, basically lying to black folks, talking about basically getting them on a legit platform, convincing them to do fucking finance fraud or for clout, and you didn't check that shit, that you upset and you try to roll on him like that. Fuck you motherfuckers. Because you really did try to bitch him up, and luckily Jason stood on his square and handled that shit and was able to diffuse that. And y'all know I've spoken on that a few times. So it ain't about race for me. Austin is a fucking coward. Austin and his bitch ass brother would have never did that they would have never went to 3 black men like that. You white boys with y'all overwhelming force, that is some of the most bitch ass, cowardly ass shit. Like it like seriously. It really is. And you literally, basically, what you went there to intimidate him, and you intimidate him because you wanted to act like you was a hard ass. And unfortunately, Carmelo's life is not gonna be the same. But Carmelo, unless they try to, because let's keep it real, if they throw the book at him, the reality is he can probably get it appealed. And he'll probably do maybe 5 years. He's 17. He'll be about 22. His life ain't never going to be the same, but he will have his life. Versus life. There is life after what happened. And it's unfortunate with his prospects. He going to have to get in entrepreneurship. He going to probably have to get in sales. He looked like he got a well-to-do mom and dad that can probably help him. And it is what it is. That being said, dad lost a fucking son. You got another twin because he want to fuck around with some Negro. I don't think he would have did that shit if it would have been another white person. And all these white dudes are mad. Y'all are angry. Like, cause what really pissed me off was Red Supreme did a stream, and it was this bald-headed white dude that wanted to play, and this is what I really want to talk about. This bald-headed white dude wanted to play the card of, white people can be racist too. I know these last streams, I've been really going in and going hard, and I'll probably dial it back a little bit. Like I said, some of these videos are going to be put on Patreon. But I really need to get this off. Man, look, you stupid bald-headed motherfucker. Black people cannot be racist because racism and prejudice, the word you're looking for with your dumbass is prejudice. Yes, black people can absolutely be prejudiced. Racism, racist, and prejudice are two different things. They're two very different things. They're not synonyms. Racism is an idea of using power. It's a group sport, number one. When you call someone racist, what you're essentially doing is saying they are tapping into a collective group effort to basically deny resources or terrorize someone on the basis of their race. White people and white Hispanics, quite frankly, have a very, 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 very strong fucking track record in engaging in this practice globally, let alone in the United States. So when you say a black person is racist, You need to show me. Just tell me. Give me an example of a black person being racist. A black man robbing a white person is not racism. You dumb fuck. That is based on economics. Black people rob white people because they have money, not because they're white. Because black people will prefer to rob black people with money because that generates less heat. Fucking with white people generates heat. Fucking with black people does not generate heat. Hence, black on black crime. You fuckers have gone out here talking all about this black on black crime, but now all of a sudden y'all want to talk about some black on white crime to try to make it sound like, are racist against you all. Crime is not necessarily race-based. Most crime is committed within one's race, because crime is more about proximity. Y'all are angry about this Carmelo shit than you are about white people blowing white children away in a fucking school. So you come out here and you sit here and you try to say, well, black people are talking about hate, or black, because they brought up a black female. They showed a black female talking about she doesn't have any empathy for fucking Austin Metcalf because of whatever. She explained, and they did play the video where Austin Metcalf was being a bully. Basically, long and the short of it is she said, fuck around and find out rules. Basically, Austin went there to intimidate. He picked the wrong one, and it was what it was. That's not necessarily hatred based on what she was saying. What she was saying. Let me give you an example. If this was a black female that did this shit, in Austin, you would not be saying that with the white dude. So these dudes, a lot of these white dudes, they try to talk around the shit and they trying to balance it because they don't want to be seen as racist. I'm like, let me tell you something, man. These old, school KKK folks, or these folks that they ain't had no problem wearing their racism on the chin. A lot of y'all need to stop half-stepping, because y'all are confusing my people. Y'all need to stop half-stepping and stop being these, man, fuck that. Fuck that half-ass, lukewarm, racist bull. You want to be racist, but you want to kind of say it in a way that's not so bad. Man, y'all could eat a dick. The reality is, you just as racist, you just a coward about it. That's really what it is. A lot of y'all would prefer to speak very frankly behind closed doors, but because y'all don't want to be canceled, y'all don't want y'all platforms fucked with, which, by the way, other white people will fuck with y'all platforms. Y'all are basically bitch made, and y'all don't want to tell the whole truth. Y'all want to do this like, y'all want to do this kind of lukewarm bullshit where you try to thread the needle. You try to thread the needle and be like, I'm not racist, but black people can be hateful too. Give me an example. There's 5 crimes against humanity. The transatlantic slave trade, Jim Crow. Even if we take slavery off the table, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, the crack era, and police brutality. Can you please give me an example of black people doing that to white people? White people. Globally. Give me an example. Not even an example in the United States. I'll even go global with you. Of course you can. Because there are no examples. Alright, fuck it. I'll just go to the house. And you know what I find funny? What I thought funny is this video is titled Edward Anderson Live. Yet somehow, even though I'm talking about this verbally, y'all come in here like there's nothing in my video that indicates that this video I'm talking about this topic. But somehow y'all come up in here saying y'all bullshit. Shout out to Johnny Vegas with $5 and find an example. So let's deal with the fucking bitch ass troll. So Jeff H writes, he brought a knife, sat in other team's tent, asked to move. Matt didn't pull a gun, a knife to make him move, not self-defense, not a comment like a bouncer. Okay, so first of all, you stupid piece of shit, because if y'all want to be in here, I ain't got no problem like smacking y'all up. Because really, y'all want to be here being bots. First of all, that's not protocol. That's not protocol. Like, if we just gonna be straight up about it, just like how Kevin, culturally, there's a lot Texans have knives. I want to be very clear here. If this was not a student sanctioned event, and it wasn't considered if this wasn't a school event, then honestly this would have been straight up self-defense. Like, it wouldn't even be a question. And quite frankly, white people have set the precedent with how motherfuckers have handled other shit. You can make that argue with Daniel Penny set a lot of precedents in the wrong direction. See, the thing is, the problem that a lot of white folks don't understand is when you do this goofy shit on the other side, you all set precedents. So, and y'all don't really understand that. And so the only way to get around that is to just say it's because it's race and he's white, so he's not wrong. And this proves you all are racist pieces of shit. So going back to what you're saying though is, first of all, that's not, as a student athlete, Austin had even though it was his fucking tent, he doesn't know why somebody is over there. He has no fucking business trying to remove another athlete. That is not his job. That is the job of whoever is the security and whoever is the faculty that is dealing with that event. That is for his own safety, as he learned the fucking hard way. He is not, the fact that you use bouncer means you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. A bouncer is paid to be security for an establishment. That is their job. That is not Austin's fucking job. And that is for his fucking safety. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much you cake for him, understand that you got black men with nothing to lose. Carmelo had things to lose. You got black men with nothing to lose. And I promise you, if it would have been 3 or 4 black people there, Austin would have got security. Because white people, that's their MO, to call the police or to get security. Because they need overwhelming force. So because he thought he had that first with his brother, it was okay. Austin put his hands on it. You talk about he didn't bring a gun. He's not going to bring a gun, you dumb fuck, because Austin is in a school. It was a school event. So y'all talk about a gun like that would be for what? And the real simple question is, he have brought a gun if it would have been another Caucasian. The obvious answer is no, it wouldn't have been. So what are we talking about? But at the end of the day, you can't bring a knife to school. But if he wouldn't have been in school, that knife shit wouldn't mean nothing. Because Texans have knives. You are legally allowed to carry a knife for your defense in Texas. So that knife shit don't matter. You're mad at the audacity, this knee hard R, as y'all would love to say it. I'd rather y'all just be racist and stop threading the needle. Had the audacity to use a knife on a white boy. That's what y'all really mad about. Let's just call that what it is. How dare this Negro that y'all had 2-on-1 actually have that? The fact that he had a hand in his book bag and Austin was too fucking stupid to realize why the fuck does he have a hand in his bag? Just goes to show you, he want to be able to say he can handle a Negro. And he lost his life with that stupid shit. That's whatever. And his brother basically aided and abetted his brother dying by basically assisting in that antagonism. Because what you're not saying is Carmelo told him, touch me and see what happens. He gave him a warning. And Austin touched him. Point blank, period. So I know you didn't say murder. Murder for the dumbasses out here, murder has to establish premeditation. Meaning you have to establish that he went in there ready to do something. Well, you can argue a knife is heir apparent, but then you got to make the argument. But then in Texas, people have knives, black, white, otherwise. And what we can show is Austin was making racial posts before the game, like recently. So if anybody can show that they had an intent on being aggressive, it would have been Austin, not Carmelo. So at the end of the day, basically Austin fucked around and found out. And honestly, this would be just open and shut self-defense if it wasn't that this was a school event and Carmelo had a knife. That's really what that was. Because if there's more than one black person there, then it's got to come out why Carmelo went to that tent. Because was he told to go there? Cause what was going on? And enough of that story is really not out there. So the fact of the matter is, a lot of y'all want to come in here and y'all, look, I get it. You're white, your butt hurt, you took an L. I understand that. I understand that you're upset, but say that. Stop this little piecemeal shit, because quite frankly, what you say don't fucking matter. People don't give a fuck. Like, especially with Trump in office and shit like that, there's a lot of motherfuckers that, look, I voted for Trump, but there's a lot of motherfuckers that's low-key like, fuck y'all. Even Europeans are like, fuck y'all. So, honestly, nobody gives a shit. This dude fucked around and found out. Really, y'all, whatever happens, let's be clear here. Whatever happens to Carmelo, at the end of the fucking day, Austin is dead unnecessarily. That don't change that. So y'all because the truth is, y'all are more madder about this than y'all get mad at white boys blowing away white children. Y'all don't even get that mad. Y'all get all real sad about that, but y'all don't get mad about that. Y'all don't get mad about that, which tells me everything I need to know about this situation. Just a guy, look, bro, I'm a white dude and I ain't never been racist in my life. I don't think racism anymore. I agree with the police brutality is real. I don't know words or fucked up place shit. I mean, shit does happen. At the end of the day, I mean, look, I'm not saying dude had a right to be in the tent. Even BGS was saying that BGS said straight up, Carmelo shouldn't have brought a knife into school and you should never take somebody's life, black or white. And I understand that too. But a lot of this like overwhelming anger, like again, I look at it like y'all madder at this situation than white on white, than fucking school shootings. When that's not even racially motivated. A lot of times that's white dudes blowing away white people. But it's all that, nobody wants to deal with that. So when people come in here trying to thread the needle on social media, it's like people don't know enough. I've acknowledged Carmelo shouldn't have had the knife. And that's what's going to hem him up. And I literally cut somebody out because they're sitting here wanting to get mad at me and call me weak because I'm just supposed to bypass that. No, you're not supposed to bring knives to school. You're not. And don't tell me, and then people want to say Austin almost was going to kill him. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Like, stomping people out can't happen in a second. Stabbing somebody in the heart can, which is why we're where we are. And we know Carmelo probably didn't, well, I ain't gonna say we know, but I'm sure he did it because he was crying because he know his life is over. He know. I mean, I don't know, all the places, the heart, you could have poked them anywhere, but you poked them in the chest. It's crazy. I'm not slanted. I gave you all these reasons to be slanted. I'm just not going to kiss your ass. At the end of the day, it's not enough information. It's not slanted. I'm not slanted. I gave you all the reasons. I even gave you a situation that was two black people. Man, get the fuck out of here. Read some books. Dude, I'm slated, but you getting, like, read some books by Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is literally a professor and kissing your ass. Shut the fuck up. Thomas Sowell. That's how you, like, motherfuckers don't even understand. You bring up Thomas Sowell, then you already told me who you are. You look for black people to kiss your ass. Look for Thomas Sowell. You just told me who you were. Everybody's welcome to be in here as long as you ain't talking stupid. Yeah, politically correct racist. Yeah, man, black people have hate in their heart. Black people don't execute hate on white people. Y'all, that's a projection. That's a projection. Black people cannot practice racism on a white person like that. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at Eminem. Look at what's her name? The white chick. I forget her name. That used to rap. Like, come on, man. Stop that. You can't show me a single situation where black people are locking white people out of it. Just on the base of race. You cannot show me that. You cannot show me that. Because it don't exist. That is what racism is. That is what racism is. That is what that is. Now, can black people be prejudiced? Hell fucking yeah. But prejudice is not the same as racism because there's not a power dynamic in prejudice. Prejudice, I just don't like you. And people have a right to not like people. People have a right to not like people on the basis of race. But when you start undermining their citizenry, not to mention as much shit as black people have done for the United States of America, even outside of slavery, I understand that, Charlie Ross, but that's technically at school. If it's a school event, that is technically at school. That is, like, trust me, that is the same thing. In the eyes of the law, that is the same thing. That is the same thing. In the eyes of the law. So, I get what you're saying, but that's the same thing. And that's where he's hammed up on. And I do agree with BGS. That it's like, dude, I don't know, like, dude, if you're under threat like that, then that's a different conversation. And you're not gonna tell me everywhere in Texas is just this, y'all living in 1930s America. You can kiss my ass with that shit. Y'all can kiss my ass with that. Cause that's low-key the argument is being made. That it's 1930s America and blah 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 blah. That he just knew he was about to be dead. He just knew. Without a shadow of a doubt that his life is about to be taken. And that's not, I don't believe that. And so it is what it is. It's really unfortunate. But at the same time, when people try to get off this bullshit about race, this is why I always tell you all to make sure you got your I's crossed and your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because when they do try to do this politically correct racism, it's very obvious that's what they're doing. It's very obvious that they're like, and that's why I'm very quick to say, you just a racist piece of shit. I'd rather you just admit it. And quite frankly, these would be the type of dudes that black people, these be the type of dude that black people try to placate and be like, oh, there's good black people and stupid shit like that. You know, these this is why, like, with Amera, and you know, I ain't got no issue with Amera, but like with Amera, you know, you have these people where they have these racial attitudes. This not even based on some real shit. It's just based on what they think and how they feel. They have these like fucking racial attitudes that they have. These racial attitudes that, you know, they just have it's really cultural. It ain't got really nothing really to do with any event or anything. It's just this is what they want to believe, so they look for ways to justify that belief. That's all it is. And so when they say stupid shit, it's like, yo, like if we really want to get into it, like y'all don't want me to really start digging. Like when you got Arabs, like for instance, like when you get like Sudanese motherfuckers like Myron talk about I'm Arab, I'm like, yo, you say that like that's some shit to be fucking proud of. Like for real. Like like trust me, the bullshit in some of these ethnic groups is like the cousin fucking and shit like that. They be going on with certain ethnic groups and shit like this. Some of the shit y'all be doing, like if we really highlighted that shit and dragged that shit into the light, like white people would so be disgusted with y'all. It's actually kind of funny, like some of the shit y'all be having in y'all closet, but y'all be thumbing y'all nose at us. It be like, yo, some of y'all got some like disgusting things y'all be doing. Like for real, for real. And y'all think y'all it's really kind of funny, man. Y'all be thumbing y'all nose at us and shit with these racial or like this bullshit with these student visas and shit. They crying about that. You know, oh my God, Trump, blah, 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 blah. And then they looking for black people to help them. And black people are on some hold your own nuts. No, what do you mean hold your own nuts? What does that mean? You know, it's like, yo, it's just the naivete of certain things. And it's like, y'all lucky we as fucked up as we are culturally. And this gender war bullshit. Because if we didn't have that problem to the extent that we did, a lot of shit people be doing they wouldn't be getting away with. A lot of shit wouldn't be flying. Like, I don't think y'all really understand how much that gender, this our women being on some stupid shit, be fucking us up. Y'all didn't get this angry. Yeah, Phantom Clutch said last year there was a black dude that got stabbed in New York and they didn't say nothing. Yeah. They don't get this angry with Sandy Hook. Make sure y'all get my lights up. They didn't get this angry when white children are being murked. Murked. Like that's my angle. Like y'all are just rageful, raging. Oh, and y'all like really that audacity really got y'all fucked up like that, huh? It really got y'all that mad, huh? And it's like how much y'all are trying to politicize this. Like this is just some fucking epidemic of black people just killing white people. They didn't get they got angry because Alex Jones said it didn't happen. That's why they got mad. But they got get right. But they got mad at Alex Jones. They didn't get mad at the people that actually did that shit. I mean, I'm not even saying that because ultimately, man, I'm not. I get the reason that they went over there, but at the same time, this I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind because y'all be having these behind the scenes conversations. Like a lot of white dudes have a fantasy about hand fighting a lot of white dudes like to test their masculinity against black men. It's just like how white men validate a black female's femininity. It's kind of the same thing with that. It's just like obsession, and they look for opportunities to look for opportunities to escalate shit. Cops do it. They purposely escalate shit, and that's what happened. That is what fuck had happened. And again, he found a right one, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Because people can talk about he didn't bring a gun. Of course he not. He can't bring guns at a school event. But you never know. Like y'all don't be really understanding. Like y'all be thinking again, white people be in their own fucking world and shit, and it's like y'all don't be understanding the shit y'all be doing. People like even with the Daniel Penny situation, y'all sat there and Donald Trump, JD Vance, this motherfucker killed a black person. Even JD Vance, you think that shit ain't gonna have no consequences? Because if these same white people turn on your fucking wife because they tired of her ass, you think that shit ain't gonna have no consequences to like certain demographics? You sitting here wanting to be seen to go to a football game with this dude. I mean, you lucky you don't live in a country where people just don't murk his ass, for doing that stupid shit that he did. Because I don't give a fuck about what he's saying. There was no reason for him to sit here and choke that motherfucker out like that. And there's gonna be certain situations, like real talk, where eventually when dudes start doing that shit and there's another black man around, you're not gonna just be able to do that. But that's another story for another day. Anyway, y'all, I'm out. This is Edward signing off. Peace.